back to the bodies far. We're a day plus. It was yesterday, but it's Lamed Ches. Today is Lamed Ches. See what we can do. We learned in the Mishnah that if a woman has labor pains, so and there's blood, so she's tar, unless there's a resting time in between the pains and the birth. If there's any relief from the pains in between the labor and the birth, then she would be common. Around 37. So, Iboilo, Kumar has a question. Let me just give you one drop of introduction. The way we explain this was that do you want to Gemara? It's probably on the bottom there. Not there? Oh, so then we go downstairs. You want to check? Oh, thank you. I have to figure out how to use that. So, just the way to explain this is there's relief from the pains, but the blood is continuing. That would be the normal case. And that's when we would say she's coming. You see, because now we see that the blood is not associated with the birth, because the birth, the pain stopped, and she's still bleeding, and then she gives birth. So that blood before, that was for 3 days, is really Ziva blood. What was the pain? It was some other pain. It wasn't the labor, because you see it stopped when she gave birth after. The Gemara asks, let's say the blood and the pain stop. Is she tar? Is the blood previously considered blood from labor, or is the previous blood considered blood from Zeba? Well, the pain stopped, the blood stopped. So, the way we were learning is that she's for sure tamba. Any sort of relief is coming. That's the way we learn. So, Umar says, Rav Chisda Amar Tamei. Rav Chisda, that's the way we were learning it the whole time. If there's relief, when we say that that blood that came for 3 days is considered Ziva blood. Rav Chanina Amar Taira, but Rav Chanina says she's tar. The only time she would be tamei relief is if there's relief from pain, but the blood continues. But if there's relief from both, then we say that was birth blood, and the birth happened to come later. But nevertheless, whenever there's pain, that's considered blood from birth, and that's what we found. So it goes like this. Rabbi Chanina explains, Mashal HaMelech. For an example, from King Shiyotza, that he's traveling, he's going, and his soldiers are going, and his armies are going in front of him. And we know that it's the armies of the king. So what's going on? There's a baby that's coming. There's pain that's coming ahead of time. And there's blood that's coming ahead of time. Well, that's the preceding, the troops that are coming in front of the king, and the king is coming behind. So it's associated with the birth. Chisda says, no, that's not how it works. You don't have a break in between the soldiers that are coming and the king. First the soldiers come in, then more soldiers, and then it gets this entourage, this procession gets more heavy, not less heavy. If it's associated with the birth, then there should have been more pain as it gets closer to the birth, not stop. The fact that it stops means that those soldiers are not associated with the king's coming. So which means that labor pains are not associated with the person, and that blood is not associated with regulation. That's why he would say that it's tummy. That's Rav Chisda responding to Rav Chanina. It's not the regular Rav Chanina. I don't think it's too late. Rabbi Chanina is much earlier. Or usually Rabbi Chanina and the Gemara is Rabbi Chanina Bar Chama. She's a first generation Amira in Israel. Let's look one later, Rabbi Chanina. Okay, Kanan, we'll start in the Mishnah. Rabbi Shua says, Laila v'yoyim v'leil Shabbos v'yoyim. When we said that there's relief, it can't just be 24-hour relief that will make the blood previously tamei, but it needs to be the type of relief. It needs to be the time of 24 hours. That's a night and a day, like we celebrate Shabbos. But then it goes on. That's not the question. The question is Shesafsim and Atzar B'leim and Adam. It says that there's relief from the pain, labor pain, but there's no relief from the blood. And that would mean that that's the case of Tumah. But let's say this relief from both. Then you'd be tired. That's what Rabbi Chanina claims. That if there's relief from both, then you're tired. Kasha and Rav Chizda. Chizda says that it's Tameh if there's relief from both. It's a strong question on Rav Chizda. My answer is Amalach Rav Chizda. Rav Chizda said, where do you get that? Where are you telling me if there's relief from both, it's tired? It didn't say that. You made a deal. You said that it's relief from pain, but not from blood. That's going to be Tameh. You thought that tells me that relief from blood is also going to the relief from blood is going to be tahar. That's a diuk. That's lavdafka. That leimi by it's not only relief from both. That's tamei. The pascal lechelis legamri that it's stop. All the soldiers is our example of the soldiers that are going in front of the king. That is stopped entirely. But let's say it just stopped from the pain and not from the blood. Then I would have thought, would have thought, look, if just like the blood didn't stop, so really the labor pains didn't stop as well. This is what I would have said. So why isn't she feeling it? This is just not a mute. She's not seeing the general disorientation. She's seized by a general disorientation. It's like a painkiller or something. She's not feeling the pain because she's disoriented. So therefore, but really I would think that it's still the same pain is there. She's just not feeling it. But the pain is the painkiller just it sort of like distracts pain. The same causes of pain are still there. It's just like the dentist shaking the cheek. It doesn't take it away. You just don't feel it because of other things. So we would say that it's still there, and therefore she should be tahar, because pain together with blood is tahar, because that's the first blood. It's not ziva blood. Mashmalan that no. If the pain stops, we don't say that she's disoriented. We say that tells us that the blood before was not real, but blood from birth. That's the answer. So, in other words, there's a chiddush of saying shesafsim and atzar v'leim and adam, and it's not to tell me that if safsa from both, if she rested from both, that she's tar. It's to tell me the chiddush that if she rested from the pain itself, she's still tamei, because I could have thought that would make her tar by saying that the pain is really there, and she's just not feeling it. The mashmalan that we don't say that. Nana was taught in the Mishnah. She has labor pain for 3 days during the 11 days of Ziva. That's the time that it would make her tar. However, the Safsa, when she rests from the pain, there's relief from the pain. for 24 hours, and then she gives birth. So Hariza Yoledis Mozai. That tells us to take us back that no, it's the birth of a during Ziva, because the relief tells us that the blood that came before was Ziva blood, not blood from birth. Echidami, what's the case? If it's exactly the way it was written, Lamali Shalish betray Bekushi Rishag Bechad Beshufi Sagi. Very interesting suggestion the Gemara is giving. We're trying to get to a Yeledis B'Zoy, where a woman has 3 days of blood before the birth. There's labor pain, and she's still coming. She still has to massage. The way we did that was we said 3 days of blood, 1 day of relief. What does relief mean? Sounds like both pain and blood, because we said 3 days of blood, 1 day of relief, and then she gives birth. So that's the Yeledis B'Zoy. Now, 1 second. How many days does it take to make Ziva? 3 days. Really, what could have happened is I have 3 days of blood. 2 of them are with labor pain. 1 of them is without labor pain, and she's also a Yeledis B'Zoy. Why do I need to have 3 days of blood with labor pain, and then 1 day of relief? Everyone would agree that relief during the blood, while the blood is still there, is going to be tummy. So Lamali Shalish betray Bekushi Bechad Beshufi Sagi. We could have gotten the same scenario with 2 days instead of 3 days of labor pain. It must be the following. Kashta Shleisha, it must be that she has labor pains for 3 days. Besafsa Mizeh Mizeh, and she has relief from both. Or we have another case. We have to add another case into the Mishnah to make it fit, to make it there should be a chiddush, or the following case, or maybe the 2 cases, and this is the case that we were suggesting, the 2 days of labor pains, the subsimias, and then she has relief from the pain, but not from the blood. And that would be Yeledis B'Zoy. But to Reb Chanina, it's a kashan Reb Chanina, because Reb Chanina said that if Safsa Mizeh Mizeh, if she has relief from both, she's Tahira. Here we're seeing relief from both. The fact that it says that there's relief after 3 days, that tells me that there's relief from both. And she's still coming. It says relief from both blood and labor pains makes her tahor. Chanina's logic was that we had blood and pain together, and now we have a birth probably with pain. So we're going to attribute the blood and pain that was before to the birth that's with blood and pain. If the blood would have continued without the pain, then we would have said that the blood previously was blood without pain. I felt the pain, but that's not associated with the birth. But if there's relief from both, then she should be tart. Here we're saying relief from both this time. Amalach Rabbi Chanina says, like, you're being medayak. Again, this is what's going on. We're reading texts. We're asking, why does it say that? It could have said something else. We're coming to conclusions, and then we're asking questions on Rabbi Chanina. You said, 1 second. Let's go back to that text. It's exactly what it said. That she saw blood for 3 days, and there was pain. The chiddush is even though the pain started on the 3rd day of the blood, the subsum yesleis, and there was relief for an entire day. Tmeya, she's still tummy. Lafukim Rabbi Chanina, it's coming to include Rabbi Chanina. It doesn't end off. What it's supposed to say, this is very confusing because Rabbi Chanina is an argument. And what it wants to say is Rabbi Chanina, the brother of the son of Rabbi Yeshua's brother. Yeshua's brother. Yeah, Rabbi Yeshua's nephew. So do you have that? Oh, Hanania. Says in the text, Hanina. So, yeah, I was wondering about the Rashi has it in his Girsa, Rabbi Chanina ben Achi Rabbi Yeshua, which he said that if there's any pain on the third day of Ziva, then that tells me, even at just a little bit, that tells me that she's going to be tar. So what the Bryce is telling me is that there's pain for 3 days. I just have to tell me pain for 3 days. Could be pain for 2 days. If there's relief, even if the relief doesn't have to be relief afterwards, it could be relief on the third day. She would still be tummy. There's relief for 24 hours. So he's coming to tell me that no, pain for 3 days is a chiddush, because Rabbi Chanina, the nephew of Rabbi Yeshua, held that if there's any pain on the third day, which that's the critical day that turns a woman into a zava, so she's not going to be a zava in this case because she had labor pains that removes the ziva status. So Kamash Malan, that we don't go like him. That's why we wanted to say pain for 3 days, because we wanted to add the pain into that day and say that she's still tummy. All right. Kamihi Kishuya. How long back will she be tahar because she had labor pains? So she's seeing blood. We say that she's not becoming a zava because she has labor pain. And those pains take her out of the status of a zava. She doesn't need the 7 clean days and the karbanas, because this is a birth blood, not zava blood. The pains tell me that. How long prior to a birth could you do that? So Reb Meir says that 40 or 50 days, etc. Right? They were 40 or 50 days. So the Gemara asks a very typical Gemara question. Hashta chamishim machshia abon mibai. If 50 days makes her pure prior to the birth, so why does it have to say 40? 40 is included in the 50. Now, Places points out over here that we have other Gemaras that say 40, 50. Like, for example, how high can a sukkah be? So we said only 20 amas, but Rabbi Yeshua says it could be even 40, 50 amas. The Gemara doesn't ask there. If it says 50, why doesn't it say, why? So the Gemara should ask, so why do you have to say 40? Places explains that over there the Gemara wanted to say that 40, 50 plus, and you can keep going. Even 40, 50, keep going. 60, 70, 80, it could keep going. So it uses an expression of, I don't care how much, 1,000,000 miles, what, a million? It could be 2. That was an expression to mean as much as you want. Over here, 40, 50 is the limit. 40 or 50, more than that, no. So here we're asking, okay, so if you're giving something with a limit, then you have to tell me just the limit. Don't tell me things that are prior to that limit. So it says, Amar Rav Chisda le'kasha. Because it says there's no problem. Kan l'chei kan l'bari. Depends. A woman that's sick, so she might feel the pain 50 days earlier. Labor pains. A woman that's healthy would feel the pain only 40 days earlier. Interesting. Okay. The doctor's not on, is he? He's on? Any comment on that? Okay. I don't know if we'll be able to hear. Let's see. Any comment?
Dr. Stein?
Okay. Nice try. Amar Reb Levi. Reb Levi says, I think so, yeah. Reb Levi says, I don't know what Reb Levi is. It's not this, I don't think it's a student of Rebbe, because he's usually just said Levi. Even though he was in the generation of Rab, and we did have Rab and Levi just a few days ago about the Machlekes. One fountain, one source of blood, that was the Machlekes Rab and Levi. Okay. Amar Reb Levi. Reb Levi says, "Ein avlad matar aliyam haru'im liyazava." We were explaining like this. This is what we said before on the Mishnah. That the woman has labor pains and she sees blood. So it depends when the blood is coming, if she's going to be tar. We learned it from Sukkot. The only blood that's going to be tar because of those pains is Ziva blood, not Nidda blood. So in other words, she has these pains and she was a Nidda. She's Tameh. Ziva is going to be Tahar. She doesn't have to count and seven clean and all of that. Comes back to Nidda, she'll be Tameh. She's still seeing blood, she'll be Tar during the Ziva days, but the Nidda is still going to be there. That's what, okay. So it's 7 and 11. The 11 is going to be pure because of the labor pains, but not the 7. Amar Rav says, it's not only the actual 11 days, but the example here is that she's going to be pure for 7 days after the Ziva as well, because that would be the 7 clean days that she would have to count. There could be days in between Ziva and Nidda. Those days, according to Rav, is going to be pure as well. The last 3 days of the 11 would turn her. Yeah, if she sees blood during those last 3 days, she's going to be pure. And what's going to happen is she really needs to wait. If she wouldn't be pure, then she would be a Zava. And what would happen is that, what would happen is that the 7 days afterwards, she would need to wait 7 clean days until her nidus could start. So here, what the way they're explaining is that she actually saw blood and she became a Zava. And now she's during the 7 clean days and she's seeing more blood. But now her pain started. So the blood during the pains is not counted as Ziva blood because it's already started the labor. Is that how they're explaining it?
It says
Okay.
So if she didn't see blood, she would be a Zavagadol.
Even if she didn't have the pain, she would be a Zav. Well, no, she is a Zavagadol, but now she's not getting clean because she's seeing blood. Right. If she didn't have the pain, she would be a Zavagadol. The only thing that I'm not clear about is she actually a Zavagadayla and she's seeing blood, or maybe she's not a Zavagadayla and we have 7 days. When exactly did the labor pain start? Did it start during the days of Ziva, or did it start at the end of Ziva when she would have to count the 7 clean days? Okay, but either way, Rav says that she's going to be tar in the 7 days that follow Ziva, because that's the counting of Ziva is also tar. Amar Ravada Barava. Ravada Barava says, "Otaimi de Rav." According to Rav, Ravada Barava is, according to some, there's 2 of them. Let's see what he's put here. Okay, we have one Gemara that tells us that when Rebbe was passing away, he said that Ravada Barava is in the in the lap of Avraham Avinu. chest of Avraham Avinu.
What does that mean?
They're not sure what that means. Either it means that he passed away, or it means that he's having his bris, that he was just born. They think it means that he was just born. So if that's the case, then we have another Gemara that says when Rav Dimi came to Gemara Baba Basra, and Rava says, let's see if he's a Talmud Chacham. Sends Ravada Barava to ask him a question. He asked him a question: if an elephant swallows a basket and it comes out the other side, is it still tamid? Is it considered kli glalim, like vessels that are made out of manure, or is it considered original status? And he didn't know the answers. He said it's not a Talmud Chacham, so they have a very high standard. So, so he can't sell his dates or something. Anyway, Ravada Barava ends up dying over there, and everyone is taking blame for it. Rav Dimi says it's because of me, and Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak says it's because of him. He used to prepare the shir. So we have, he's born in the days of Rebbe, and down to Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak over here, 350. And Rebbe is here 100. It's 150 years later. 100, no, Rebbe's closer to 200. So that would be 150 years later. So that's probably just two. Okay, so Ravada Barava, the problem is that Ravada Barava,
Is he on the chart or not?
I don't see him on the chart,
Anybody?
but I would assume that this is the earlier one because he's discussing Rav,
Okay.
I think. Or maybe there's only one. Okay. Ravada Barava says, well, the time of the Rav, according to Rav, afilu yamim haruhuyim l'spira siva. See, what happens is, if a woman has to count 7 clean days, and then she sees blood, so it breaks the 7 clean days, and she has to start them again. Ravada Barava is saying that according to Rav, that says that the 7 clean days are pure. So if that's the case, then the 7 clean days will keep continuing forever, because we'll imagine that she's seeing blood. It's breaking the ziva, the clean days of ziva. She has to start over. And the 7 clean days keep starting over, and she's never becoming a nida. So however much blood she's going to see is always going to be bimei ziva, stira ziva, a broken 7 clean days that she never. So according to Rav Ravada Barava is saying it's always going to continue that she's going to be tahar. So when is she going to be tamei? When is she nida? So that she's only going to be tamei if she started seeing the blood during the days of Nida, then she'd be a Nida. Otherwise, if she starts seeing the blood during the days of Ziva, so you're always going to have this Tara. Okay, Tanan, start in the Mishnah. Kami Kishuya, how long does it last for? The purity, where I'm actually going backwards. How long prior to the birth could it be? The labor pains and the purity. 40 and 50 days. According to Rav, how do you have 40 and 50 days? Talking about like Ravada Barava says, that she started seeing in the days of Ziva, and it just keeps going, because when she's seeing blood, that's considered like she's breaking the Ziva, the count, the 7 clean days count. She has to start over. And that's going on for 40, 50 days, whether healthy or sick, right? So we said Ella Levi, but according to Levi, Kasha Levi says that when she comes back to being a Nida, the Ziva is pure, but Nida is Tamid. So if you don't say that purity lasts for the Ziva counting, it only lasts for the 11 days, and right after the 11 days, she becomes Tamid. So how much purity can you have over here? The Meir says 40, 50 days. The truth is you can only have 11. Amalach Levi would respond, Miktani Torah b'kulan. Does it say that she's tar in all of them? We may Nidda, we may Ziva Tahira. We didn't say that the purity is 40, 50 days. We said the halacha of being pure is 40, 50 days prior to the birth. That means that the purity of Ziva could go back 40, 50 days, but the need is still going to apply during those 40, 50 days. It's not saying purity of 40, 50 days. It's saying the laws of purity would last for 40, 50 days if the blood is during the days of Ziva.
She's having a period when she's pregnant.
Yeah. At the end of the pregnancy, the labor's beginning, and the labor's lasting for 40, 50 days. And we're saying that she's not becoming a Zava during that time. Levi is saying, but she is becoming a Nidda. According to Rav, we can explain this, that she's not becoming anything. Because the blood started during the Ziva, and it just keeps continuing as if she's breaking the Ziva count. And when you break the count, you have to start over. Lisnachrina, there's another interpretation of the same machlekes, which is slightly different. Lisnachrina Amri, there's another version that says the following. Rab Levi says, really, the only thing that's going to be pure, this is based on the psukim, is if she sees blood for 3 days. But if she sees blood for 1 day, then she's tamei. How does she get pure after 3 days? So the thing is like this, that she's tamei for the regular 1 day tama of a 1 day. She sees for the second day, she's going to be tamei for the 1 day tama of 2 days. Seeing for 2 days. She sees for the third day, then we say that's a Zava Gedayla, and she's tahar for the 7 days that normally would apply to a Zava Gedayla. So she'll always have the status of a Zava Ketana, but she doesn't have to count 7 clean days. She just has to wait the 1 day, which would be the third day, I guess, and then that was it. Does she have to wait a 4th day? I'm not sure. And does she have the status of a Zava Ketana on the third day? It doesn't say that. Okay, and what's the reason for this? My timer, Dama, Yamim Rabim. In the pasuk it says, Dama Yamim Rabim Ksiv. And as where are we learning that she's pure? Because we said Dama or Dameha. We said she's Tamei, the blood from her. That pronoun told me it's only if it's naturally from her. But if it's because of a baby, the Dama Machmasatzim V'lei Machmas blood. If it's because of a baby, she's going to be tar. But the pasuk that says her blood also says blood for 3 days. That means the only blood that's going to be pure is the blood that's 3 days, which is the Zava Gedayla blood. Okay. Abishol Mishmei Rav Amar. Abishol says in the name of Rav, the Betzalel Ranchberg takes issue with this. He says, can't be Abishol. Abishol was in the days of Rebbe, probably even earlier. He was the one that told us about what was going on in the Beis Hamikdash when we had a question which room something was. He's not after Rav. He's not saying something in the name of Rav. He's an early Tana. Not an early Tana, but he's one of the Tanai. So what do they do over here? They change the name or say it's someone else? Oh, Mishmei the Rebbe. Oh, is that what he's doing? Mishmei the Rebbe. Okay, that's better. You say Mishmei the Rebbe, but then it's strange. I have Reb Levi talking, and then I bring afterwards in the name of Rebbe. Maybe I don't know. Okay. Afilu Yamamarim Lisbem Zavaktana. He says that even the purity is even for that 1 day. My timer. Yamei v'chol yamei pasum ksivi. It says also kol yamei, all the days. That means any day, even if it's 1 day, doesn't have to be the 3 days. That pasuk of Dama, her blood, gets purified if it's because of it's not her blood, it's because of Leda. That would apply whether it's a 3 day sighting, or a 1 day or 2 days. So even Zava Katana, which is called the name that's attributed to a 1 day seeing of blood, is also tar. Tanan, started in the Mishnah. Kami Kishuya, how long is the days of labor pains that will make her tar? Maybe even 40, 50 days. Kasha Tavayo. It's a kasha on both of them. How is she supposed to be tar 40 and 50 days? It's only either a Zava Gedayla or a Zava Ketana, but any more blood after that, it's going to be Tamei. Miktani Tar B'Kula. Do we say, the Gemara answers, do we say that she's tar from all of them? Kasta b'mei nidasa is a nida. B'mei zivasa is tahira. Same answer we gave before. We didn't say that she's tar all of those days. We said that if she sees this specific type of seeing during those days, she's tar. Other seeings during those days would become Tanya, starting a brisa. Reb Meir says, Yesh maksha kufnan yom vein ziva behem. It's possible that a woman is having labor pains and there's 150 days and there's no ziva there. How does this work? It's not complicated. It works like this, I'll tell you. 2 days of seeing during the days of ziva will not make her into a Zava Gedaila. It's just 2 days. 2 days is it's not serious. So it's still Zava Gedaila. So if the last 2 days of ziva start, if last 2 days of the 11 days, days 10 and 11, she sees blood. So on day 12, she's seeing blood. She's already in Nidda. She doesn't have to wait 7 clean days because it was only 2 days. After the Nidda, then she sees again 2 days. So she's not as Zava Gedaila yet.
Seeing
She's seeing,
on the one day makes her a nida.
Yeah.
You're saying.
yeah. But we can say that she's seeing blood all through. And we say 2 plus 7 is Nidda, plus another 2 is only Zava Ketana. Then what's going to happen here is like this. Watch this. Then she starts to get her labor pains. So it's not going to turn into a Zava Gedaila. So it goes like this. Ketzad, what's the case? Shnayim b'layes. 2 are during the days of Ziva. B'layes means not in the right time. Days 10 and 11 of her 11 days of Ziva. Yeshiva Nidda.
Labor pain going
Not
for
yet.
a second try.
She's having labor pains.
5 months
No.
before she gives birth.
No, it's about a month and a half before, the 50 days before.
Well, I thought we said 100.
No, but you'll see where the 150 comes in. Then there's 7. So 2 plus 7, that's Nidda. She's still not a Ziva. It's Nidda. She's Tama, yes, but she's not a Ziva. Zava. Shnaim shalachar Nidda. Then there's 2 afterwards. So that's 11, right? 2 plus 7 plus 2. It's 9, 10, 11. Chamishim shavlad matar. Then I have 50 days that Reb Meir says that if there's contractions or labor pains, that they're going to be tar. So all of that time, there is no ziva there. For sure, there's no ziva. If there's Nidda there, then that's a discussion. But that's always machlekes before. Shmeinim shel nekeva. She gave birth to a nekeva, to a girl. So now she has 80 days. Well, that was 11, 50, and 80. It's 141. After the 80 days, Shiva Nidda, she has 7 days of Nidda because the first time she sees afterwards she becomes a Nidda. V'shnayim shalachar Nidda. That's the extra 9, 150. Okay. Amrulai, they responded to Reb Meir with his calculations. This could go on forever because what happens after the 80 days is she got pregnant during the Yemei Tayar, and she has a miscarriage, and she has another 80 days after that, or 50 days and 80 days, and this thing could go on forever. So Amalahan Maida Taicho says, what are you thinking? Mishum Nefalim, you're telling me stories about miscarriages. In Kushil Nefalim, this whole story is only when it's a full-term birth, where we say the labor pains purify the blood from Ziva. But if it's a miscarriage, we don't say that. Okay, so it's really only the 150. Kanarabanan, start in a brisa. It's possible to see for 100 days. This is exactly the same story. We just dropped the 50 days of the labor pains. So we'll still have.
And then you go do that.
No, we can have the Nidda at the end because that's giving us 20. That completes the 20. 2 plus 7 plus 2 plus 7 plus 2 at the end is 20 because it's 2 twice Nidda is 14, and then 2 and 2 is the 6, which gives me the 20, and then I'll have the 80 days of the birth. So it goes like this. Kate said, "What's the story? Shnayim b'leis, 2 at the end of the ziva, days 10 and 11 of the 11 days. V'shiva nida, 7 of the nida. V'shnayim shalachar nida, and then there's 2 of after the nida. Shmeinim shel nekeva, 80. 80 of the birth. She gave birth to a girl. 80 days of purity. Well, it's 66 days of purity and 7 days of, and 14 days of tumah. Together, that's 80. Whatever the case is, she's not a zava. V'shiva nida, v'shnayim shalachar nida. And you have 7 of the nida and 2 of after the nida. The Gemara asks straight away, "My kamashmon, what are you trying to tell me?" We have another brisa that said the same thing. It just threw in another factor. It made it even more complex. Now you're telling me the one without that factor? I don't need this brisa. Does lafukim mandam yafshel tzifkev b'leidam? No, we have a chiddush here. We didn't give any purity for blood in this case of labor. So the day of the birth was actually the 3rd day of Ziva. There were 2 days of Ziva beforehand, and then there was the day of the birth. If we would say that it's impossible to have an opening of the womb without blood, then the opening of the womb would have been the 3rd day of the Ziva, and she would be a Zava. She would be a Ledus B'zayim. We didn't have the contraction purity here in this, the labor pain purity. Here we have a chiddush. Even though she's giving birth on the 3rd day, she's giving birth without blood. And so therefore, that blood is not considered, therefore that opening of the womb is not considered blood of Ziva. It's not considered the opening of the womb, which automatically is supposed to have blood. We're saying that it's possible to open the womb without blood, and she's giving birth not in Ziva.
So she had no pain and no blood.
Yeah.
And she gave birth to the baby. Doctor, he was saying blood, sweat, and tears. As I was saying yesterday, it's just
sweat. I heard about the
no
ladies.
tears. Tears is pain.
The ladies in China, they're out there in the rice fields in labor. They just crouch down, have the baby, and continue picking the rice.
In fairness to the doctor, yesterday he said it was blood, sweat, or tears. So I guess this would be sweat or water or whatever. If I understood.
Okay, Rabbi Yehuda Medaya. Oh, so you were here yesterday. We started from Kashta Shleshi Yamim. I don't know if we started in the right place.
We left off on Kamash Malon. Okay, now I guess was the next. We didn't get all the way.
I don't even know what that is.
Lamed Zion, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, maybe 15 lines up from the bottom, from the very bottom.
Oh, okay. So, okay, good. So I started to drop earlier. Okay. Rabbi Yehuda says, Rabbi Yehuda says it lasts for a month. It can not last. It could go prior to the birth 1 month. Okay. Tanya was talking to Bryce. Rabbi Yehuda Mishum Reb Tarfon. Rabbi Yehuda says in the name of Reb Tarfon. Reb Tarfon was a friend of Rabbi Akiva. It's over here on the chart. Tarfon. And Rabbi Yehuda is Rabbi Yehuda Rabbi Loi. It's a student of Rabbi Akiva. Yehuda says in the name of Reb Tarfon, it's enough that month. And what's going to come out is a leniency and a stringency. Ketzad. What's the case that it's a leniency and a stringency? It goes like this. Let's say she has labor pains the last 2 days of the 8th month. She has 1 day of labor pains the first day of the 9th month. Even if she gives birth right away, at the beginning of the 9th month, because we say where was the majority of the blood, or end of the labor pains in the 8th month. 8th month labor pains doesn't count to us. So 2 in the 8th month, we take the 3rd one that was in the 9th month and apply it to the 8th month. It follows the majority, and she's going to be coming. But let's say it's only 1 day in the 8th month. And 2 in the 9th month. even if she doesn't give birth till the end of the month. But the 9th month, that's considered labor. Very different than what we said. She's going to be tar. He doesn't hold of the shufi. He doesn't say that any relief makes it tamid. He doesn't hold of that. He holds the 9th month is considered labor. Amar Ravada Barava. Here we have Ravada Barava again. Shmamina.
Can you have relief from the pain without having relief from the pain?
We relief of the pain. Yeah, he's not saying that that's going to make your tummy. He's going to say that that's tar, because any blood in the 9th month is going to be tar, if it came with pain.
In general, the Gemara now is treating pain the way it treats the feeling of a discharge to determine Nidda, right? There has to be the feeling of pain for all these events that we've been talking about.
To make it tar. Pain, as in labor pain, that's going to make it tar. Right. So, Amar Ravada Barava, Shmamina Kasav Rabbi Yehuda Shipura Gar. We're seeing from Rabbi Yehuda that the shayfa is what causes the purity. What does it mean, shayfa? Shayfa is an expression that means when it was Rosh Chodesh, they would blow the shayfa. So he's saying we're discussing here the 9th month. It's the 9th month that's causing the purity. It's nothing to do with how far back from the birth or all of that. It's the or if it's relief and all of those factors cause the purity. Aini, is it really so that the 9th month is considered the birth, the labor? Anything in the 9th month is labor. V'amar Shmuel, we have a statement from Shmuel. It says, a woman only gives birth after 271 days. Would say 9 months is, I guess 9 times 30, 270. So, and then the day later she gives birth. So that's 271. Problem is that could be that conception is a day after the relations. So that would be 272 days. Because the zera is still viable. Or it could be 273 because the zera could last for 3 days. So the Gemara and Shabbos are not separating before Matan Torah. How many days the zera lasts? Okay, what's our problem? Problem is that according to Shmuel, there is no birth in the 9th month. It's only after the 9th month. And we're saying that according to Rabbi Yehuda, the whole 9th month is the time of birth. It's not the whole 9th month. So this is a machlekes of Yeledas Lemekutai. Can you give birth as part of the month acceptable for? Is that considered? Does a woman give birth in part of the month? So the Gemara says, "Who damer Chassidim Arishanim?" Shmuel. He is discussing the Chassidim Arishanim. Maybe he holds like the Chassidim Arishanim. The Tanya was taught in a brayse Chassidim Arishanim leim sham shemitisei mela bervi b'Shabbos. The early Chassidim would only have relations on Wednesday. Shleiyavayu nesheiseyem lidei kil Shabbos, so that the wife should not give birth on Shabbos, and it would have to be kil Shabbos. They have to call the midwife. Hello. However, whatever they had to do, they probably had to warm water and all of the whatever, to bathe, cut the cord, all of these things is chil Shabbos. So they wanted to make sure the baby isn't born on Shabbos. So they only had relations on Wednesday. Umar says, 1 second. For Aviv Sulai, only Wednesday. What about after Wednesday? I'll explain how this works. Maybe from Wednesday and on. So the way it works is like this. So 7 days of a week, if you have 39 weeks, that would be 273. 273. So if you have a week, so a week is Sunday to Shabbos, let's say Sunday to Shabbos. So that's 7 days. So if it's going to take from the relations in until the birth, 273 days. So if there's relations on Motzei Shabbos, Sunday, relations on Motzei Shabbos, Sunday, then the birth is going to be on Shabbos, 273 days. Let's say this birth is only 272. So then if relations on Monday, which is Sunday night, would be 272 days would be Shabbos. Let's say it's 271, then it could be Monday night, right? It would be 271 would be on Shabbos, so Monday night, Tuesday. But already on Tuesday night, Wednesday, on the 4th, then it can't be born on Shabbos. So, but Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday and Shabbos is for sure not going to be born on Shabbos. Okay, so that's
really goes backwards. So Tuesday is 271. That's what you were just explaining. That's the standard is 271.
Yeah.
And then it's possible that it lasted for an extra day. That would be 272.
Just calculation-wise, it's easier to start from 273.
No, I understand. I'm just saying now that we got it. Now that we got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, the other Gemara, the way that you presented it was 271 is like the standard how long it would take, and then it's possible that these lasted one extra day or 2 extra days.
Right.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, essentially.
Right.
But you're saying for sure it's not less.
It's not going to be less than that.
It never had like a baby born premature, like before the full term.
Yeah, that's this whole discussion, this whole business with the 8th month being an Eiffel and the 7th-month birth. Everyone holds the 7th-month birth could be Mikatayim. In the 7th, if there's a pregnancy that 7th month, it could be even in the middle of the 7th month. The whole machlekes is the 9th month. Going to be in middle. That's a discussion. So here, there's this one opinion, and the opinion of the Chassidim Rishonim that in Shmuel that it's full term. Amar Mar Zutra says, "My time the Chassidim Rishonim. What's the reason of the Chassidim Rishonim? They have a source. My time, what's their pasuk source? Vayitin Hashem la Hiroyan. Does the pasuk say Hashem? That's the brackets in there, I guess so. Hashem made her pregnant. This is talking about Rus. From Boyaz. Hiroyan, Bigamachra, pregnant is Hiroyan. Bigamachra, Masayim, Veshivim, Vechad, Haba. If you add up Hiroyan, well, the race is 200, and the Nun is 50. The Yud, make it 260. So, Hey and Vav is 11. It would be 271. Okay, Amar Mar Zutra. Mar Zutra says, even if you say, like these opinions that say a 9th month birth doesn't give birth in a chopped month, it has to be full term. But if it's 7th month pregnancy, that will give birth in the middle. As it says, it was Kufas Yamim. Kufa means a season. Now there's 4 seasons. Each one is 3 months. So Kufais, plural, and Hayamim is plural. But Chana gave she became pregnant and she gave birth Batela Bain. She gave birth to a child. What's the minimal of a plural is 2. So 2 seasons would be 60 days. Niyat Yamim Shnayim. 2 minimal of a plural of days is going to be 2. Rashi brings Tafasta Meruba like Tafasta. What are you going to say? If you say it's any more than that, then you have no limit to what it could be. So it has to. You only take Tafasta Muat Tafasta. You take the smallest amount of a possible plural, which is 2. So 62 means that you're just starting your 7th month.
Why do you need the 2?
I'm sorry, it's not 60 days. It's 6 months and 2 days. 6 months and 2 days. 6 months and 2 days. That means the beginning of the 7th month. 108. The beginning of the 7th month, right?
Why need 2? Why couldn't it be? Why was
I don't know. Yeah, but we're saying, we see from that it could be 2 days into the 7th month is already considered the 7th month. It's already considered 7th month pregnancy. And I guess this is by Shmuel.
It's just the same rules of construction and contract interpretation. And halakha. Yami means
2 days.
dinari means 2, not 1,000.
Right. Monies. We only see that legal things, monies. Okay. Rabbi Yosef,
It doesn't talk about what kind of year they're in.
you mean if it's a solar
No,
year?
no, but it's a leap year. The numbers are very different.
I mean if it's going to be 30 days to a month or 29 days to a month?
Well, half of the year is quite different.
Yeah.
Oh, it's kufa, not year. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying you're saying good. You're saying the kufos. So if Adar Sheni falls in that kufa, it's 4 months, not 3 months. No,
I don't know how that works.
you get a whole extra month. So it's not. It's no longer 180 days. You
Right.
could have 210 days. It's just another variable. No.
Yeah. Although I would say that the kufas go with the solar calendar. That's right. As we enter this, as we enter December, we start thinking about
that's the answer.
December 5th. We start to change. We follow the I think the seasons have to follow the solar. Okay. Rabbi Yosef Reb Shimon Aimer in Kusha Yosim Beishabasis. They say it's only 2 weeks for this labor pain. Amar Shmuel Ma'amar Derabanan. Shmuel says, what's the reason for this for the rabbis? Rabbi Yossi and Rabbi Shimon, these are 2 students of Rabbi Akiva. He says like this: a woman that gives birth to a girl is tummy for 2 weeks, just like her nida. Now we said kinidasa, but like her zivasa. She's tummy like her nida, not like her ziva. What we were trying to say with that is that was a source to say that labor pains purify her for ziva. Labor pains purified the ziva. But how long is the ziva? How long is the purification? Michlal the ziva satira. Okay. The kama. How long would you be tar for? Shvuayim. Because how long is the shitami for? For 2 weeks. So how long is she tar for? 2 weeks. Taner Rabbanan. Start in a brayse. Yesh Makasha Eser Machamisha Yayim. We tried 150 days before. Now we're just going easy. 25 days. Vein ziva ilabam, and there's no ziva. Ketzad. How is this possible? Shnayim b'layes. There's 2. That's the last 2 days of ziva. B'layes means not in the time. That's day 10 and 11 of the ziva. So she's not a zava gedayla. Shiva nida, 7 days of nida. Abeshalach nida, and 2 days after the nida. And now varba asar shavlad mitar. Then you have 14 days. According to, before the birth, we're according to Rabbi Yossi and Rabbi Shimon, labor pains make her tar for 14 days only, not 50 days like Rabbi Meir said, not a month like Rabbi Huda says, but only 2 weeks, 14 days. It's impossible that she should have labor pains 26 days without a child, and she's not going to be considered Yoledes B'Zayt. The Gemara says, 1 second. What did you just say? 26 days without a child? 26 days without a child. If there's no child here, then 3 days would make her into a Zabed, not 26. The Gemara says like this. You have to say it like this. Ema say, if there is a child, then once you have 26 days, is already ziva. Why? Because what can you add to here? It was 2, 7, 2, 14. Well, after the birth, 14 days. That could really be 26. But what it's asking is if you add to a day to the 2 or to this or add to the 7, which is the other 2, then there's gonna be a Zava Gedayla. So you can't have 26. Amalei Rava, it says Belay Vlad. What are you telling me about that there is a birth? Elam Rava Hachikamer. It's impossible that she should have labor pains for 26 days prior to the birth, and she won't be Yeledis B'Zayv. Yeah, that's the shot. Because you only have 14 days that at least they'll purify. So if you add one more day, then it's going to be considered Ziva. So, She'ein Vlad, Ellen Nefel, if there's no child, just the Nefel, the Klasanami Havizava, then even 3 days would have made her a Zava. My time in Kushil in the Fallen. Because there is no there's no labor. Yeah, there's no labor pains, but there's no leniency of this. They don't get off the hook with the tumma if it's just a miscarriage. It's no dispensation. Okay. The Mishnah now says, if a woman is giving birth the second time after she just gave birth to a girl and she's within the 80 days, Rashi gives 2 options how to learn this. One option is that she got pregnant again and she's giving birth again. The other option is that she's having twins and they're separated by a reasonable amount of time. Like we said, the sons of Rabchia, Yehuda and Chizkiah, the sons of Rabchia, they were twins and they were born 3 months apart. Right? So we said.
How could you say she got pregnant where she's having a baby after 2.5 months?
Yeah.
It's
no.
It's not.
No, she's so what we're gonna say is that this is not the halachic status. Let's see the Mishnah. Let's see. If we're talking about this other case, then we have to translate Hamakasha slightly different, because Hamakasha so far was only when it was a real birth. So let's see. The Kol Dameh Shiraya Tahirim, all the blood that she sees is tar. She Yetzia blood until the child comes out. Now, why is she tar? Not because of the labor pains. Tar because she's in the middle of the 80 days. All right. So now I can translate Hamakasha not with the halachic Hamakasha, just practically Hamakasha. She's having labor pain. Rabbi Lezer Aimer Mitami. Rabbi Lezer Mitami. Rabbi Lezer says no, she's Tami. Very interesting. Rabbi Lezer is getting really strict on us over here. I mean, she has days of purity. Rabbi Lezer is going to say that the days of purity don't purify the blood from a woman that's giving birth. Now, a woman that's giving birth, her blood is usually pure anyway. But in this time, it's like a double negative. You have purity from that side. You have purity from this side. That's going to equal a impurity. Although I don't want you to think that double negatives actually equal a positive. We know that that's not right. In multiplication, not if I'm negative $2 and then I'm negative another $2, I'm not going to be at zero. Okay. So, Amalei Rabbi Lezer, they told Rabbi Lezer, Ma b'makam shechmer What's going on over here? In a place where you're stripped before the birth, b'dam shufi. If there's relief, you say that she's tummy. But hekel b'dam hakushi. But you're lenient if there's pregnancy. If there's labor pains, you're lenient. That's before the birth. Usually over there you're machmer, and over there you have the leniency. Makam shehekel b'dam hashufi. In a place where regular blood is going to be pure, is it not the Kalvachaimer that you should be lenient in the blood of labor pains? Every other blood is pure. And labor pain blood is pure where it's usually not pure. Here for sure it should be pure. Rabbi Lezer says, it's a nice Kalvachaimer, but it doesn't work. Because what are you learning? Da'ilav Aminadin goes like this. If usually it's used in this like say a strong person, let's say a weak person can pick up 20 pounds. So a strong person can for sure pick up 30 pounds. No. That you don't know. All you know is that a strong person can pick up 20. More than that, you have no Kal V'Chaimer for it. That's the Da'ilav Aminadin. You can't get any more than where you started with. It's like laws of physics, you can only get as much energy as you put in and whatever. So, where was the leniency that you're talking about? Mitamaziva. Your whole leniency is only in Tamaziva. So, aval tmeya tumas nida, but nida is still tummy. So you can't get purity of nida blood out of just a Kal V'Chaimer of purity from Ziva blood. So therefore, no one told us that pregnancy blood is going to be pure in middle of the days of Tara. Days of Tara, Nida blood is pure, Ziva blood is pure. There's no Ziva there, but Nida blood is pure and Ziva blood is pure, but not pregnancy blood. Okay. Tanu Rabbanan, thought in the Brisa. See if we can finish this tomorrow. At least on the Mishnah. Teshev, she has to sit on she sits in the blood of purity. This is coming to include a woman that gave birth during the 80 days. That all the blood is pure. That's the opinion of the Tanakhama. Rabbi Lezer Matami, Rabbi Lezer says it's Tami. Amalei Rabbi Lezer said to Rabbi Lezer, if in a place where they're stringent before the baby's born, if there's relief, but nevertheless they're lenient. If there's nevertheless they're lenient after the baby's born, during the days of purity. A place where they're lenient before the baby's born, if there's no relief, if it's labor pain. That time after the birth is a time of leniency. So for sure you should be lenient in the labor pains after the baby's born. 1 second. Where's the leniency there? Where was the leniency in the blood of kushi, of labor pains? It's only a leniency in the blood of ziva. But nida is still going to be there. There's no leniency in nida when there's labor pains. They said to him, we'll do this differently, and we'll cover our the issue that you're bringing up. And it goes like this. If there's stringency before the baby's born, if there's relief, but if there's no relief, we say that it's pure. if there's leniency after the baby's born, what's the leniency from after the baby's born? Nida and Ziva. Because during the days of Tayar, now they're changing the Kalvachaimer to include Nida into the leniency. After the baby's born, there's a leniency of Nida and Ziva. In a din, Shenekel Bekushi Sheimai. Should we not for sure be lenient on the labor pains that come along with it? And now they're learning a Kalvachaimer from Nida and Ziva. You know, before they were learning Kalvachaimer from, look, if Ziva is pure before, then the birth should be pure afterwards. As you know, if if afterwards there's leniency on Nida and Ziva, so for sure there should be leniency on the birth. So now we're learning from Nida. The Kalvachaimer is including Nida into it, so which we weren't doing before. So how are we including Nida? Because we are comparing before the birth to after the birth, and we're putting together with that. We're doing both together, relief and no relief, from before the birth to relief and no relief after the birth. And since relief and no relief, since the no relief purifies even need the blood, so it should sure purify the birth. Amalehem, he responds to them, I don't care how you twist it. You can twist it like this, twist it like that. Dial of it, mom and adilius kanidan. You have no source that says that labor blood is going to be pure. What is the leniency? However you twist it, there's only a leniency in Tumas but Nida is still going to be tummy, and therefore the birth is going to be similar to the Nida, and she's going to be tummy, even if it's after another birth during the 80 days. Here Rabbi Lazar was correct. Lavam Risu, did he not say Dama? It says in the pasuk Dama machmas atzim v'le machmas vlad. It says that she's pure from blood, her own blood, but not blood from. As the blood, we said 2 times. We have 2 sources of Dama. We said one was that there's purity if it's blood coming from a birth, that it doesn't become a zava, that would become only her own blood. Lemachmas blood. If it's from a birth, then she's pure. So Hanami, now we're talking about after a birth, during the 80 days of purity, where it says V'tara mikar dameh, that she's pure from her source of blood. We say again, Dama machmasatz v'le machmas blood. We do the same thing, but now it's strict. Where's the purity coming from? Only from her own blood. There's no purity from blood that comes from a birth. We flip it around. Back it. You want to learn like that? Okay, we got it. Ema, you may need may zivatayr. The Gemara says, okay, 1 second. According to Rabbi Lezer, maybe during the purity after a birth, there should only be purity from ziva, not purity from nida. Maybe those 80 days don't include nida purity. No, the pasuk says no. Well, he says dayai. So the Gemara wanted to do a kal v'chomer the other way. That if the purity from beforehand is only purity from ziva, that she's only pure from ziva, so therefore v'tara mikar dameh, she becomes pure only from ziva. Maybe he would do like that. The Gemara says no. Teshev means that there's purity throughout the whole. There's nida and ziva. You don't have to leave it there. We are a page behind now.